So we've seen thousands of flights being delayed or canceled as the holiday travel kicks off. Tomorrow's a big day, everybody, July 4th. Airlines are dealing with bad weather and staffing shortages and are struggling to keep up with the high demand over the 4th of July weekend. Canceled or delayed. That's pretty much what a lot of passengers have been hearing. And I'm sure you guys have heard it too as well from friends and family trying to travel over the last few days into tomorrow, trying to meet trying to get the cutoff to make sure they get where they're trying to go in time for the fireworks festivities for the 4th. I know some have celebrated early Saturday and Sunday today, but if anybody's actually traveling for the 4th or also trying to travel back where they came from, back home, get back to work, this is going to be vital and important information. Travelers all across the country are experiencing the collapse of our economy as they attempt to navigate chaotic, stressful, and poorly managed airports this Independence Day weekend. Airports are experiencing high demand, bad weather, and staffing shortages. This is a reoccurring theme with the staffing shortages, despite record unemployment. We talked about this in previous videos, but I don't think that the staff is unwilling to work. It's just that the employers are unwilling to allow them to work, especially beyond part-time hours, in a position to earn full-time wages, overtime, benefits, retirement plans, et cetera, et cetera. We are seeing a drastic shift in our economy, a drastic shift in employment, and a drastic shift in how businesses are going to operate in the future. Hope you guys are paying attention. But as of Saturday night, last night, nearly 650 flights in the United States have been canceled, and more than 5,200 flights have been delayed. And according to the TSA, 4th of July weekend travelers are at pre-pandemic levels. So, things are kind of getting back to normal as far as the activity and amount of people willing to jump on planes and hop about around the world, around the country, besides pretty much living their lives through Zoom and FaceTime and Skype and other methods of virtual conferencing. The top 3 airports most affected by cancellations and delays include Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, Kennedy Airport, and Newark Liberty International Airport in the New York area. Airlines are scrambling to keep up. Comment below if you actually traveled this holiday weekend and you saw the chaos and the madness and the struggles that the airlines are faced with. Let me know if you were involved with that, if you saw any delays or not, and that would be very helpful for the community, for the family. Passengers are showing signs of despair and weakening as they are forced to cancel their plans, shack up in airports overnight, or find alternative travel means like renting cars or ride sharing, which those are in short supply as well. Everybody's cutting back, and the ride sharing gig just isn't as profitable as it used to be, and most drivers aren't willing to risk their time and their wear and tear on their vehicles for reasonable tips to support them day to day, as the ride sharing app itself isn't paying them enough as it relates to the costs that they incur in higher insurance on their automobile, higher fuel costs, gas, diesel, higher maintenance costs. And the insurance is actually taking a toll on these rideshare companies and the users and the contractors of these platforms like Uber and Lyft, including Instacart, Walmart Spark, Uber Eats, Grubhub, several on the list. But insurance companies are cracking down on the gig contractor work usage for these personal automobiles and canceling policies and or hitting known users with increases and penalties on their premiums. And also, if you say, hey, well, that doesn't affect me, I don't do that, I just use Turo and Outdoorsy and other apps that allow me to share my vehicle with others, well, lenders are cracking down on that as well, as they don't typically you have to read your contracts, but they typically don't allow any third-party leasing. So these can trigger some due on sale clauses, which will basically say, hey, we know that you've been using this vehicle in a third-party lease situation. We've seen it registered on Turo. We've seen it registered on whichever app that they searched, which they're searching regularly now based on VIN numbers and tag numbers. And basically, they'll say, hey, you're in breach of your contract, the agreement that we had in place, and ultimately you need to pay us in full for this loan amount, or we will repossess the vehicle. So just a heads up for that. If anybody's involved with that, be careful, be aware. The shortages of airline pilots, weather conditions, and air traffic control delays are making matters even worse. A Delta spokesman said in an email, canceling flights is always our last resort, and we sincerely apologize to our customers for any disruptions to their travel plans. Delta said it was offering customers the ability to reschedule flights from July 1st through July 4th with no fare change in certain circumstances. I would have to think that more than likely these circumstances would be available and to those in the higher tiers, Sky Miles, Medallion, Sky Club members, the high rollers. United Airlines is also being affected with possible flight delays and cancellations, blaming weather and air traffic control programs for its delays. And American Airlines experienced a computer glitch, but stated it didn't anticipate any operational impact because of this issue. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds kind of sus to me, and I probably wouldn't fly with an airline that's experiencing computer glitches, seeing as how most of these aircrafts are pretty much just computers with wings. They fly themselves, but the pilots are there. But if the computer goes down, you may be SOL. Shit may be hitting the fan at 30,000 feet, and that's not something I'm interested in. The Federal Aviation Administration, or the FAA, if you're not aware of the acronym, said the top cause of the flight delays and cancellations was weather conditions followed by travel demand. The FAA said it has acted on the issues to keep aircraft moving safely when weather and other airspace events constrain capacity. Now, I want you guys to pay attention there. I wonder what other airspace events could be occurring this weekend. What's Putin up to? What's North Korea doing? We got a lot of birds in the air that normally wouldn't be up there. I know there's been no official announcement of high alert, but I don't think that our armed forces are sitting on their hands this holiday weekend waiting for something to happen. Or perhaps they know something could happen and they're occupying that airspace, which theoretically could have caused some flight cancellations depending on the routes of these flights. Reports state that at least 48 million people are expected to hit the road over the holiday weekend, including 3.5 million people who plan to fly, as airlines struggle to keep up with the soaring post-pandemic summer travel boom. We've seen a lot of folks on the road in our travels. We're almost to the Pacific time zone. We're here in Denver, Colorado, but in our travel, we've seen a lot of people on the road. And, I'd have to assume that this is a result of just trying to keep costs down as best they can and also make it to their destinations on time and not be subject to airline delays. The cost factor is a little subjective because fuel prices, they're up. But, in retrospect, it's another dollar, depending on where you're located, another $1.50 a gallon for your trip, depending on the fuel economy of your vehicle. If you're trying to see friends and family, it may be worth it to you if you can afford that. But expect travel delays and disruptions due to the number of available pilots and flight attendants, along with sky-high fuel costs. I think the pilots and airline attendants staff may be feeling the after effects of the JB jab. Some of these pilots may not be feeling too well up there in the cockpits. But let me know what you guys think. Are you traveling this 4th of July weekend? Have you experienced any delays or cancellations at the airport? And if so, what happened to you? What airline was it? Which airport were you at? And what was the outcome or end result? Were they helpful? Did they change the flight? Did they kind of give you lip, or anything like that? Just let me know. And let me know how the overall feel was in the airport amongst the other passengers. Any, obviously there's going to be some frustrations there, but were there any, situations where you think that people may be a little bit on edge and possibly losing it in an airport and inadvertently creating some drama? Let me know. Do you have friends or family traveling this weekend as well? Have they experienced any problems due to the pilot shortages, fuel prices, or bad weather? Just drop a comment below and let's talk about it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys soon. Take care.